Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a really interesting article called Reclaim Your Edge, which is aimed squarely at men over 40. We're going to look at how it zeroes in on a common problem, points to a specific culprit, and then, of course, offers up a very targeted solution. So, let's dig in.
So, right out of the gate, the article hits you with this question. And it's a really powerful hook, isn't it? It's meant to connect with that unspoken feeling of decline that can kind of creep in as you get older. It immediately makes the reader feel like, okay, these guys get it. All right, so the first part of the article is all about identifying the problem. It starts by laying out a situation that's so relatable, you can't help but nod your head and think, yeah, that actually sounds a lot like me. And here's exactly how it does that. It lists these super common frustrations, right? Your workouts just don't feel like they used to. There's that stubborn spare tire that won't go away no matter how many salads you eat. You're feeling kind of moody or just tired all the time. And maybe you're lacking that inner alpha drive. These are very specific points chosen to get the reader on board. And this is where the whole narrative takes a really crucial turn. Just after you've agreed that, yup, these problems are real, the article steps in and says, but what if? What if it's not actually your fault? This is a big pivot. It reframes the whole thing, not as a lack of trying on your part, but as something internal that's out of your direct control. So, what is this internal thing? Well, the article gives it a name, the hidden culprit. And as we're about to see, it points the finger directly at rising estrogen levels. So the article introduces this core idea it calls a hormonal shift. It's not just about testosterone dropping, which a lot of guys already know about. It specifically frames rising estrogen as the real villain of the story here. Now, to make this whole abstract hormone idea feel really concrete and personal, the article lays out what it calls 4 red flags. It takes those frustrations we saw earlier, like fat on the chest, mood swings, that belly that won't budge, and brain fog, and links every single one of them to this one clear cause: high estrogen. So, after clearly laying out the problem and naming the bad guy, the article does exactly what you'd expect. It introduces the solution. It presents a supplement that it calls a reset button for your body's chemistry. And the hero ingredient in this solution is something called DIM. The article explains that it's a natural compound you can find in stuff like broccoli. But then it makes its sales pitch. To get enough of it, you'd have to eat an absolutely ridiculous amount of broccoli, which of course makes their supplement seem like the only realistic choice. So what about the 3X in the product's name? Well, the article explains it's this triple advanced absorption system. You've got the DIM, which is the main event, but then it's backed up by 2 other patented ingredients, bioperine and estrogen, which are basically there to make sure your body can actually absorb and use the main ingredient effectively. All right, so here's the million-dollar question. What does the article promise will happen if you use this formula to fix that hormonal shift? Let's take a look at the benefits they're reporting. And the article really doesn't hold back here. It makes this incredibly bold claim. It's framing the supplement not as just some pill for your symptoms, but as a fundamental upgrade to your entire life. It's a classic way to elevate how you see the product. And this is what that life upgrade is supposed to look like. The article lays out 4 key areas where users are reportedly seeing big improvements: waking up with rock-star energy, getting way better results from the gym, having a sharper mind at work, and of course, renewed confidence in the bedroom. Now, in the final section, the article's focus totally shifts. It's not just about the problem or the solution anymore. Now, it's all about convincing the reader why this specific brand is the one they should trust and buy from. And to build that trust, it lays out this whole checklist of selling points. And notice what it hits on. It's doctor approved, the ingredients are all natural, it uses patented stuff for quality, and it's made in the USA. Every single one of these is designed to knock down a potential reason a customer might hesitate. The instructions are kept super simple, just 1 capsule a day, but, and this part is really smart, it's also managing expectations. It suggests that while you might feel some good stuff in a few weeks, the best results come after you stick with it for 2 to 3 months. That, of course, encourages you to make a longer-term purchase. Now, this number is a huge part of the final pitch. It's not the price, it's not the dosage. 67 is the number of days you have for their money-back guarantee. And here's how that 67-day guarantee is framed as a complete no-lose situation. The article presents a simple choice. On one hand, it works, and you get your energy, your body, and your confidence back. On the other hand, if it doesn't work for you, you get a full refund. It's a classic marketing tactic that's all about removing every last bit of risk for the buyer. The article wraps everything up by leaving the reader with this one final, powerful question. Is feeling old truly optional? It's a really strategic way to end, reframing aging not as something that just happens to you, but as a choice. By positioning their product as the tool to make that choice, it leaves you with a really compelling thought to chew on.